Okay, let's see the contents of this video. First, I will explain the types of ECG signals for classification, and then I will explain about the ECG signal database which will be used for the classification. And after that, I will explain that how you can convert the one-dimensional ECG signals to images with help of the continuous wavelet transform coefficients in the form of scalogram. And after that, I will explain what is transfer learning and how we can train a pre-trained AlextNet, which is a deep CNN, on our own set of images. And after that, I will explain the MATLAB code for this database creation. I mean, converting all the one-dimensional ECG signals into the CWT scalogram images. And in the last, I will explain the MATLAB code for training and validation of this AlextNet that will be used for classification. But before going ahead, I request you to watch following my two videos. One is about the continuous wavelet transform of one-dimensional signals using Python and MATLAB. The link of this video is given in the description. In this video, you will get the theoretical idea of the continuous wavelet transform, and you will able to see that how you can get the continuous wavelet transform coefficients using Python as well as MATLAB. And in the second video, that is about the how to create a deep neural network in MATLAB. Here you will get the exposure that how you can create your own deep CNN and how you can train that and how you can validate the results. So for that purpose, I have taken a digit recognition example. So this video also you can get through this link, which is also given in the description. So I really recommend these two videos as preliminaries to understand this current video in better way. So now let us go to the types of ECG signals that will be used for classification. Primarily, we are taking these three types: ARR, CHF, and NSR. ARR is a signal which is for arrhythmias, and CHF for congestive heart failure, and the NSR for normal sinus rhythm. Actually, there are so many different categories of ECG signals, but for this current problem, we are taking only these three types. So in this figure, you can see these three categories. So this first signal is representing the ARR, I mean the case of arrhythmias, and the second is representing the case of the congestive heart failure, and third is representing the normal heartbeat. And obviously our object here is to train a CNN, so that will distinguish these three types of signals. So now let us go to the ECG signal database. As I said, we will use these three types. Actually, these three types of signals for total 162 counts we get from the Physionet database. So these are the three Physionet databases from which we get these signals. So one is the MIT BIH arrhythmia database, from where we will get the 96 recordings of type ARR. And the second one is MIT BIH normal sinus rhythm database, from which we will get the 30 recordings of type NSR. And the last one is the BIDMC congestive heart failure database. From that we will get the 36 recordings of type CHF. So first step obviously is to download these data from the following GitHub repository. So this is the GitHub repository and it is its address. This is also given in the description, so you can directly jump to this web page from where you can download this data. So first you go to this button, which is of green color, which is code is written here. So when you press this button, you get this menu from where you can download this file as a zip file. So when you download this zip file, you get this zip file by this name, Physionet ECG data master.zip. After unzip this file, you get following three files. So we need only this first one, that is the ECG data.mat. Actually, it is a MATLAB file which carries all 162 recordings. And after getting this file by unzip ECG data.mat, we will place this file into our current working directory, and we can load this file in MATLAB workspace by following commands. So if you execute this command, load ecgdata.mat, your file will be loaded to the workspace as a structure variable, and by executing this command, data equal to ecgdata.data, your all ECG signals will be loaded into this variable data. And if you execute this command ecgdata.labels, your all labels will be stored into the variable labels. Labels means the name of each signal. I mean, some signals are of type ARR, some are of type CHF, and others are of type NSR. So here, if you see in the workspace, this variable data is a matrix of size 162 by 65,536. Actually, it is a matrix which has total 162 rows and 65,536 columns. So in each row, the one type of signal is stored. Okay. And these signals are actually the name of the signals you can get from the labels. So if you see the labels, you get that from row number 1 to 96, you get the signals of type ARR. I mean, total 96 signals. And from index number 97 to 126, the signals are 30. These are 30 signals which are of type CHF. And from 127 to 162 index number, you get the NSR signals whose count is 36. For our problem, actually we will pre-process this database. Each recording is of 65,536 samples, which is a huge size signal. Therefore, it can be broken into small pieces of length 500 samples each. So by this way, we will be able to increase the size of the database. So that will make it appropriate to train a CNN. So as you see that we have total 162 recordings. I mean 162 rows, and each recording is of 65,000 samples. So instead of taking only the 162 recording, of course, which will be less to train a CNN, we will take each signal and divide these signals into chunks of 500 samples. So that's why we can increase the size of database. And also, as you have seen that there are total 162 recordings, out of which 96 are of type ARR, and 30 of type CHF, and 36 is of type NSR. So also we have an unequal distribution of each. So to have an equal distribution, we are taking 30 of each. Okay, so we are taking the 30 recordings of each type to have the equal distribution. And each recording will be broken into 10 pieces of length 500 samples. As I said, we will break the first signal into the 500 sample length, and there will be the total 10 such pieces. Although you can go beyond 10, but I'm also limiting the database for this current video because I have to show you the training and testing of that deep CNN. If I increase the size of database, it will not be possible to show you that complete training and testing procedure. So since we have total 3 classes, each has 30 signals, and all 30 signals are broken into 10 pieces. So obviously there will be the 300 recordings. I mean 30 into 10, and each is of size 500. And since there are 3 classes, so there will be total 900 recordings. So now the size of the database is now 900 signals, ECG signals. So out of this 900, we will take 750 for training and 150 for testing. So now I will show you that how we can convert all these one-dimensional ECG signals into the images. What is the need of it? Actually, the CNN which we are going to take is the AlextNet. So this is a deep CNN which receives input in form of images, not the one-dimensional signal. But we have the one-dimensional signal, ECG signal, So what we are going to do now, we will convert the one-dimensional ECG signal in form of image, but with help of continuous wavelet transform. So for this purpose, we will use the continuous wavelet transform coefficients to represent a one-dimensional signal into the two-dimensional image. So for this purpose, the continuous wavelet transform coefficients will be represented as a scalogram, as we are aware of it. So each scalogram will be represented in a color map of type jet and 128 colors. Scalogram then will be converted into images and will be saved into the folders which are corresponding to each class. So obviously we will create three folders. So one folder by the name ARR, second folder by the name CHF, and the third folder by the name NSR. So in each folder we will save all those 300 images. I mean 300 images here, 300 images in this folder, and 300 images in this folder. So total 900 images we will have as a database. And we will resize the image as a 227 by 227 because the AlextNet accepts the input image in this size only. And each image will be the color image of 24-bit. So after converting these 900 scalogram images, they will be stored in the corresponding folders, as I said. So these are the three folders. This is ARR, CHF, and NSR. So inside these folders, you will have all the images. And how we'll take the continuous wavelet transform? So we'll take the continuous wavelet transform of these one-dimensional ECG signals with the following parameters. For this purpose, we will use the analytic Morlet wavelet, which is also known as MR. Actually, this wavelet has an equal variance in time and frequency. And what is actually the analytic wavelet? The analytic wavelet is one which has a single-sided spectra. So because of that, they are complex valued in the time domain. Actually, these types of wavelets are very good choice for obtaining a time frequency analysis of 1D signals using CWT. So for this purpose, we will take the 12 wavelet band pass filters per octave. It means we will utilize the 12 different band pass filters to convert the 1D signals into the wavelet coefficients. They are also known as the 12 voices per octave. So here is an example signal, ECG signals of length 500 of type ARR, and this is its corresponding scalogram. I mean these are its continuous wavelet transform coefficients. So this is converted into the image of size 227 by 227, and here you can simply identify these peaks, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 peaks. Here you can identify 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 peaks in this image. So this is the representation of the one-dimensional signal in form of the two-dimensional image using continuous wavelet transform. So this we will do for all those 900 signals. Okay. So now let us come to the AlextNet. What is AlextNet actually? For ECG signal classification, we will use a pre-trained deep CNN AlexNet. The AlextNet actually it is already trained over the millions of images, and it can classify the 1,000 different object categories. So actually the fine-tuning a pre-trained CNN to perform the classification on a new collection of images is called transfer learning. So we are going to use the transfer learning. We are not going to build a CNN from scratch and training that CNN from scratch, because the transfer learning is quick and it is easy rather than training a CNN from the scratch, because that requires the millions of input images for better accuracy, lots of training time, and obviously the high speed and efficient hardware. So this is the procedure of the transfer learning. So you can see here we load a pre-trained network such as AlexNet. We preserve all its layers except the last 3 layers. Okay, we do not change anything in these pre-trained layers. We change only the last 3 layers. And the last three layers actually, the first one is your fully connected layer, second one is your softmax layer, and third one is your classification layer. So we change these because for example, your AlexNet is trained for 1,000 different objects, but for our current problem, the total classification objects are 3. I mean, you have to distinguish only the 3 types of signals. So you have to change this parameter here in fully connected layer. So you have to define the number of classes, and this is the fresh softmax layer, and then final new classification layer. So that will give the output to corresponding to the only the 3 categories. So once these last 3 layers are changed and fine tuned, we train this network to our new set of images, and after training it is ready to classify our new input images. So this is the MATLAB code for first database creation. Where we will take all the one-dimensional signals, ECG signals, and then we will convert them into the two-dimensional images, Scalogram images. So we can see here that first we load that ECG data.mat that we have downloaded from that GitHub repository, and then we get the data, and then we get the labels. And as I said, to get the equal distributions, we are taking only the 30 recordings from each. So we have the ARR matrix, which has only the 30 recordings. CHF is also 30 recordings from 97 to 126. NSR also has the 30 recordings from 127 index to 156. And the signal length, as I said, it is 500. And here we are defining the CWT filter bank that will be used to find the CWT coefficients. So the signal length is obviously the 500 as we have defined, and the type of wavelet is analytic Morlet, and the voice per octave is 12. I mean those wavelet filters, bandpass filters that we are going to use. And here we are making the following folders in the current working directory. So first we will make a main folder that will have the name ECG dataset, and inside this folder we will create the 3 subfolders by the name ARR, CHF, and NSR. So these folders will carry all those corresponding images. And this is your cell array, which carries the name by the string ARR, CHF, NSR. And here we will use a function ECG2CWT SCG. This function is not a MATLAB function. It is my custom function which we have made it to perform this task. So here we are passing this ARR matrix which carries 30 recordings, and FV, that means your CWT filter banks, and then ECG types, that means one of these strings. So 1 means we are passing ARR, and 2 means we are passing CHF string, and 3 means we are passing the NSR string. So this is a program which will create our database. But now let us see what is inside this custom function ECG2 CWT SCG. So this is the syntax of this function. So here first we define the number of signals, that means 10. As I said, we have the matrix of each category. I mean we have the 3 matrix ARR, CHF, and NSR. So each has 30 recordings of length 65,536. So instead of taking this long signal at a time, what I have said that we will break this signal into chunks of 500 samples, and we are taking only the 10 such samples from each row. So that's why the number of signals is 10 that will be created from each row, and the signal length is only the 500 samples. The color map, we are using the jet of 128 color. So here what we are doing that we are checking the condition that if the ECG type is ARR, that string we have passed in the function, then create this folder. So all the images will be stored to the ARR folder, and we have defined some indices. And inside this for loop, first we extract the signal. So ECG signal equal to ECG data. I mean from this matrix we take first chunk of 500, and then we find the wavelet coefficients with that filter FB, and taking absolute value because these coefficients are of complex type, and then by this command we are converting those coefficients as image. So first rescaling all the coefficients from range 0 to 1, and then IM to unsigned integer 8, converting them into the type unsigned integer 8 so that it becomes image. And then with the defined color map we are converting this index image to the color RGB image, so that will store in IM. So with the proper file name which is generated as 1.jpg, it is stored into the current directory with the imWrite function, and before storing its sizes reside to 227 by 227 as I said, which is applicable to AlexNet. So after this this loop will run number of signals, means 10 times. So next next chunk will be taken, the same procedure will be done for that, and it will be stored as 2.jpg and so on. Okay, and since we have total 30 rows, so this outer loop is running from 1 to 30. So that's why all the signals, ECG signals, are converted into images and stored in the corresponding directory. And for next type, ECG type CHF, the procedure is same, so everything is same. So these signals will be stored in this CHF folder, and similarly for NSR, again the code is same. Although it is a repetition of the code, you can write your own code to make another function inside a function. So let me jump to the MATLAB and show you that how this can be run. So this program is already written there. So first I will execute it, and this is its supporting function which I have just shown you. Okay, but before running this program, let me show you my current directory. Here you have only the two folders, okay, the audio data and ECG data. But after execution of this program, there will be another folder which will carry all those three subfolders by the name ARR, CHF and NSR. So let us see how we will get those folders after execution of this program. So I'm running it by pressing this run button. So it is pressed, and let me go to the command window. Here you can see that MATLAB is running, it is busy. So meanwhile I can jump to the directory, and here we can see this folder is created, that is the ECG dataset folder. So let me open it, and inside it we have created three subfolders, ARR, CHF and NSR, and I can see inside the ARR I'm getting these images. Okay, I'm getting these images which are a representation of those ARR one-dimensional signals of 500 length. So the execution is done, and here you can see that total 300 items in this folder. Let me open another CHF folder. Here again we get the 300 items, and these images are representing the CHF, those 300 CHF signals. And the last one, that is the NSR, and this is a representation of NSR signals in form of CWT scalograms. So this is how my database is created, and let me come back to my presentation. Now let us go for the AlexNet training and the validation. But before going to AlexNet training and validation, we need an add-on. So that can be obtained from the MathWorks. For that you need a MathWorks account. Okay, so first just go to your MATLAB ribbon, and where you can locate this add-on button. When you press it, you get this window. So in this search box you just type Deep Learning Toolbox AlexNet. So press this search button, you get these searched output. At very first location you get this Deep Learning Toolbox model for AlexNet network. So this you have to install. So just press it and open. You get this window, and here you get its description, etc. Actually this support package is needed to load a pre-trained network AlexNet. If you don't install it, you cannot load that AlexNet into the MATLAB. So since it is already installed in my computer, so that's why it is showing this installed. Otherwise, here you will get a download or install tab also. So when you press it, you get the option to install it or download it. Just install it and follow all on screen commands. It's a simple procedure. You will be able to install this support package. So once it is installed, now let us come to this MATLAB code for AlexNet training and validation. So here first you have to give the path of your dataset folder. As I said, this ECG dataset folder is created, inside which you have those 3 subfolders. So you just first give this path. After that, we read all the images using this image data store command, including all subfolders. Okay, so all images will come into this variable images, and now we are splitting this these images into the training images and the test images. So in form of random distribution. So here I am taking the number of training files 250. It means from each folder we will take 250 images for training. So since there are 3 subfolders, so there will be total 750 images for training. So all 750 images will go into this train images, and the remaining 150 images will go into the test images. And after that, load your pre-trained network, that is not equal to AlexNet. For this command, actually we need that add-on. So if you don't install that add-on, you cannot execute this command. So your pre-trained network is loaded, and all layers of this AlexNet are loaded into this net. So what we have to do for the transfer learning, as I said, we will modify only the last 3 layers. We will not change anything in the first layers except the last 3. So we are preserving all the layers except the last 3. So from 1 to end minus 3, we are preserving all the layers except the last 3 in this variable layers transfer. And after that, we will define the number of classes, that is equal to 3, because we have to distinguish only the 3 types of signals. And then we are defining all the layers of AlexNet. So layers equal to, first, these are all layers which we have already preserved from 1 to n minus 3. I mean, these are untouched layers. And now these are the 3 layers which we are changing. So the first one is the fully connected layer, and here we are changing the number of classes. It is 3. In original AlexNet, it would be 1000, and here it is 3 because we have to classify only the 3 objects. We are giving some learning factors, I mean the weight learn rate factor and bias learn rate factor for the fine tuning. Then when we are defining the new softmax layer and then final classification layer. So only these 3 layers are changed for a pre-trained network in this transfer learning. And here we are defining the training options. First we are defining this solver, which solver we will use, and it is the SGDM, which is representation of the stochastic gradient descent. And we are defining the mini batch size, then maximum epochs 8, and then initial learning rate we are defining, that is 10 power minus 4, and we are shuffling the data in every epoch. And then validation data, here we have to give the name of that variable which carries all 150 test images. And then validation frequency is 10, and then plot training progress. So here once it is executed, you will get a plot epochs versus accuracy. So here you can see the training progress of your program. And now the training starts with this command train network. So this is the training folder, train images. It carries all 750 images and then all layers of your network and then all training options. So once this is executed, your training will start, and once training is finished, all the weights and attributes of the that network will be stored in this net transfer variable. And then we will classify our images by the classify command. So this is my new network, the same variable here, and then all test images, all 750 images. And then Y validation. So Y validation, this is actual validation of my images. All labels are stored in this Y validation, and this is Y prediction. So I have the two vectors, the prediction and then initial Y validation. So I can compare these to get the accuracy. I mean how many I have classified correctly. And after that I will get the confusion matrix plot where we can see that how many data is correctly classified and how many data is misclassified. So let me execute this program in the MATLAB. So I can jump to the editor, and this program is already written using AlextNet.m. So I will simply run this program, but this program will take lots of time because the training has to be initiated for 750 images and testing for 150 images. So we have to wait for it. So I'm pressing this run button and then training is initiated. So you can see that MATLAB is busy and then training is initiated. So it is pre-processing, and now it is showing the progress. So it is showing me the progress of my training in this video. So I will get that training curve accuracy versus epochs. So here you get some initial points of training. So training has started. Actually this speed will depend on the hardware. So here we can see that information, that hardware resource is the single CPU because my computer has no dedicated GPU. So obviously this training will take some time. Initial learning rate is 0.001, and here you can see that epochs are total 8, and here we are at the current 1 epochs. So iteration per epochs are 37 and maximum iterations are 296, and the validation frequency is 10 iterations. So after 10 iterations your result will be validated by this dotted line, as you can see. Yes, so this is the validation. So here this curve will move towards 100 and your errors will move towards 0. So once it is finished you get a complete curve. So let us wait for it. Okay, this training is finished, and here you can see this complete curve which we achieved for all 8 epochs, and this is a loss curve which is going down towards 0. So the final result is the 96.67% accuracy which we have achieved in these 8 epochs. And let us see the confusion matrix also. And this is the confusion matrix which I have achieved. So here you can see these classes ARR, CHF and NSR, ARR, CHF and NSR. So this is output class and this is target class. So for ARR you can see that out of 50, 48 are classified as ARR. So that is the accuracy, and out of 50 only the 2 are misclassified as CHF. Similarly for class CHF, out of 50, 49 are classified as CHF, I mean correct recognition, and only 1 is misclassified as NSR. And for NSR class, out of 50, 48 are correctly classified as NSR and only 2 are classified as misclassified as ARR. So that is your confusion matrix. And here in the workspace you can see that accuracy is also written here. That is 96.67 accuracy we have achieved. So this is how we can train our deep CNN, which is a pre-trained network via transfer learning. And this is how we can utilize the continuous wavelet transform to represent the one-dimensional signal in form of the two-dimensional images. So that shows the importance of the continuous wavelet transform, and with this approach we are getting a decent result of 96.67, that is of course equivalent to the 97% accuracy with this small set of data. If we increase the set of data or we further fine tune this training, we can further improve our results. One thing I have noticed as a drawback, or you can see the negative points in this approach, that the result is dependent on the signal length. It is also dependent on the color map we choose for representing those images. Although I have chosen that Jet 128, if you choose some other color map, the result is heavily affected. So these are some drawbacks. So you need a proper combination of signal length and color maps, etc., to get the best results. So that's it for this video. I really thank you all for watching this video, and I request you to please like it, share it. Goodbye.